Hello, here I am with Richard, who we've known each other for I don't know how long now. Richard's got a lot of good stories to tell. He's started out life as a man in the Navy. In the 70s he came to New Zealand,
1972.
1972,
That's right.
and slept on the floor, I guess. Yeah, was it
I did sleep on the floor, yes.
Yeah,
What happened was that I ended up in Wellington at POHQ, but I didn't have anywhere to sleep. So I actually found myself in the post office camp in Johnsonville, whereupon the lights were put out at 9 o'clock at night. Well, I wasn't too much enamoured about that place because I was 28 years old at the time and I didn't like people telling me to switch the lights out at 9 o'clock at night. So I went and found myself a flat, but I had no furniture, I had nothing at all. So a friend of mine who I'd befriended at the POHQ where I was working, he gave me some pots and pans, and I went to the local shop in Wellington and bought myself a mattress. I didn't buy a bed because my future wife, I thought, well, I've got to be careful what I buy here because she might be fussy about the bed that we buy. So I just bought a mattress and I put it on the floor. And, oh, by the way, my friend gave me a sleeping bag to sleep in. So basically I was sleeping on the floor, but I was in comfort on a mattress. And he gave me a radio so I could listen to ZB every night before going to sleep. Yep, that's what happened, mate.
so that's a good start, and Richard had been in the Navy, come to New Zealand, and he ended up down the West Coast because he ended up, his first marriage was to a beautiful West Coast woman.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. In 1972, I took off from Heathrow, and after 35 hours of travelling, I ended up in Hokitika, west coast of New Zealand. And I thought I had stepped back 200 years in time. The airport, there was no concourse, there was no buildings that looked like an airport. There was a stretch of tarmac laid out in a paddock. You call them paddocks here, we call them fields back in England.
Yeah.
And I stepped down from this Fokker Friendship aeroplane, and at the bottom of the steps, the NAC, National Airways Corporation of those days, I asked her, where's the concourse? And she pointed to a bus stop, and there was a car and a lady beside the car at this bus stop. The lady was my future mother-in-law. I walked over, and of course I was very tired. However, hello, yes, nice to meet you. And we got in the car. At this time I hadn't seen a house or a building yet. So getting in the car, Velux Vauxhall. In those days there was one car, one family, one car. And this happened to be a Velux Vauxhall.
Yeah, I know the Veloxes. Yeah.
So we're driving along back from Hokitika to Greymouth. As I've just said, hadn't seen a building yet. So we went along about 10 kilometres. I wasn't used to kilometres because I just come from England where it was all miles. However, we passed a house and it was wood and it had a corrugated iron roof. And I mentally thought to myself, hang on, something's wrong here. We put corrugated iron on bloody sheds at home, not on houses. Oh, not to worry. We carried on for about another 10 minutes and we come across another house. And lo and behold, that was made of wood. Different colour, but it was made of wood and it had, yes, a corrugated iron roof. We carried on, small talking, until we arrived at this house at South Greymouth, area called Kororo. And believe it or not, we arrived at a house that was made of wood and it had a corrugated iron roof. Anyway, this lovely lady invited me inside, of course, had a cup of tea, and then she said, "Would you like to see Greymouth?" And I thought, oh, I'd love to see Greymouth. I didn't really know what I was in for. However, my mind was open to anything. We climbed into this Vauxhall and went touring around for approximately 10 minutes, and we'd seen Greymouth. And I thought, good God, what have I done? I've come and stepped back 200 years in time.
And but anyway, to cut a long story short, then he's married and things sort of changed. He's been in New Zealand a long time, and now he's getting to the age where he's married another wife, you know, as people do, and now he's heading off to the UK, and most probably eventually will retire in Thailand, where I've got family. So you're looking forward to that, Richard?
No. Something more important has happened since that decision.
Yeah.
Just before Christmas, I sent my spit away to have it analysed for DNA, thinking that it would prove where my father is. For I was led to believe all my life that I'm the result of an affair that my mother had with an American airman. Oh. So I thought the spit would reveal that I originated in America. No. The big surprise was I originated from Middle Europe. Along with the result from the DNA, I got a message through Ancestry.com from a lady in Bonn, Germany, who said, "I am your second cousin, and my father is your first cousin, and you are German." Well, I could have struck me dead. It's taken me at least 2 months to overcome that shock. So, what's happening now? I've made arrangements to divert to Bonn, Germany, on my way to England, to thank this young lady who's made this family tree, and now I've got a family, because I didn't have one before. It transpires that what happened was my mother did have an affair with an American airman, and my father divorced her because of it. But no one knew that when I came out of my mother's womb, I was the result of my father's sperm and not the Americans. Ooh. So I've now discovered a family that I belong to. And in England, I'm going to see this first cousin. And I'll also be meeting the person who's looked after my mother's side of Ancestry.com. So I'm learning more about myself at the age of 79 that I've never known before.
Yeah, and this is interesting. These things happen through DNA. And well, most probably have to sort of close it up soon because it's getting a bit long. But what I would like to say is that now that he's found that, this has opened up a whole new world at 79, and then at 80, Richard's going to go to Thailand, and he will start a vlog. You got any ideas what your vlog's going to be called, Richard, when you go to Thailand? DNA. So we'll look out for that, and Richard's going to be making a few vlogs. I'll let people know when he starts, and you'll be able to check that out, and his new adventures in life, and I'm sure it will be very interesting. So thank you, Richard. Anything else you'd like to say?
No, that's all fine. Look forward to seeing you on my vlog.
Cheers. I really appreciate your time there, mate. Thank you.